Hey, baseball fans, welcome to this very special pink episode where we're going to talk about pink cards and pink ladies. Let's get into the story. So, my grandmother is someone that played a massively important role in my life with sports cards. Uh, so, I grew up in Georgia and she lived in Ohio. So, we didn't get to see each other very often. But because we lived so far away, her and my grandpa, they would always come down to visit us at least once a year, and they would stay for probably 6 weeks, 8 weeks. They'd stay for a very long time just because we lived so far away. They would come down to enjoy the weather in the South, and we would just get to spend a lot of time with each other. Well, of course, because we didn't see each other, typically most Christmases we didn't see each other, birthdays we didn't see each other, all of that. We really only had these 6 weeks that they would come down and stay with us, and we would go maybe see them. But when we would go up there, I mean, it might be for 5 days at a max, and we'd have to come home because my parents were working. So they would come down and stay with us, and because we missed all these important dates throughout the year, my grandma would always be like, "What do you want while I'm here? Let's go buy stuff." And baseball cards was the thing that I wanted. I spent every penny that I had growing up on baseball cards. And my grandma wanted to be a part of that. So whenever they would come down, we would always jump in the car, we would drive to Kmart, and she would buy more baseball cards than I would be able to afford the entire year myself. And so, man, I can just remember so looking forward to those times where she would come down. I knew she was going to be on her way. And as soon as she would get there, she would actually initiate and say, "Hey, when are we going to go pick up some baseball cards? We need to get some baseball cards and open some cards. Let's have some fun." And she just absolutely loved doing that with me. And that was the thing that we did together. None of my other brothers really cared about baseball cards, so they didn't have that experience with her. It was something that her and I did together, and it just meant the absolute world to me. My parents were not supportive of my baseball card habits for good measure. Like I said, I spent every penny I had on baseball cards. So my dad would get pretty upset when I would buy more baseball cards. My mom was more understanding. Uh, she, a lot of times, she was the one that would actually take me to the store. Um, but it was really my grandma that I had that connection with. Uh, and she bought the vast majority of the cards that I got to open when I was younger. And again, like I said, just thinking back on those times together, I can remember sitting on the screen-in porch, ripping through the boxes. If you guys ever remember or went to the Kmart, Kmart would have those mix match boxes where it would have 8 or 10 different packs in it. There would always be like 3 packs from the 80s, and then this was in the 90s, and then just a mixture. Every pack was different. You never knew what you were going to get out of it. And it was terrible, terrible investments because it was all just, all the overproduced stuff. There was nothing, there's no chances of getting autographs or anything like that. It was all just pretty much base cards, just over and over and over and over. But I loved it. I loved opening the packs. I loved getting the boxes and getting different kinds of packs. And my grandma was fully in support of that. And I appreciated her for that because, again, like I said, my parents weren't supportive of it. It's not that, I mean, it wasn't a negative thing by any means, right? But they would rather me, do something else with my money. But my grandma, as soon as she was in town, was like, "Let's go. We're going to get baseball cards." And we would just have just an awesome time together. And I remember there was one time I pulled a really nice Ken Griffey Jr. card in Beckett. It booked for like $60. And I had a Beckett. So when I pulled it, I looked it up and I was like, Grandma, this card's worth $60. And she was just mind blown by that. She didn't care that most of the cards weren't worth anything or anything like that. It was about spending that time with me and having that special connection that we had together. And obviously, me being a parent now, just seeing that joy that I'm sure I had just exuding out of me as we were doing this. That's what it was all about. And I realize that now. And I'm just so appreciative, like I said, of that time that we had together. It was awesome. So really, I have so much of my card collecting, my love for card collecting, can be attributed to my grandma. And I'm very thankful for that. So with that story, now we've got to show off some pink cards, right? So I've mentioned in some other videos, but if you haven't seen it, my oldest is a girl, and she's not super into baseball. Like when I'll have the Braves on TV, she'll say, Dad, can we watch something else maybe tonight? But she loves going to the games. She loves the players, all of that sort of stuff. So I'm working on an Acuna, I guess you could call it a super collection. Her favorite player is Ozzie Albies. So I was going through a bunch of Acuna cards that I had just gotten in and going through all those. And she walked into my office and saw me sorting through all those. And she says, Dad, do you have any Ozzie Albies cards? And I had to be like, no, babe, these are all Acuna cards here. But I need to get some Ozzie Albies cards, don't I? And she's like, yeah, we've got to get some Ozzie Albies cards. That would be so awesome. So I started thinking about it, and her favorite color is pink. And, Topps Chrome has their pink parallels that they do each year. So I immediately went online, and I just began buying any Ozzie Albies pink parallel that I could find. So I picked up several of those, and then we needed a way to display it. So, of course, it's going to go into a binder. So I pull up on Amazon. We look at 5 or 6 different binders, and we settle on this super sparkly, as pink as can be. This is her binder. So let's take a look. We're going to look through this, see what pink cards we've picked up. I'm working on really picking up any pink Braves card. So it could be of any player, but we're going to be working on filling out this binder, getting pink cards for her and her collection. And this is something that her and I are going to do together. And hopefully it's something that she can really appreciate down the road. The time we got to spend together, looking for pink cards, putting pink cards in the binder, doing all that together. So let's crack this open and look at all the different pink cards that I've got. All right, so here is that pink binder. Check that out. Pretty sweet. But let's take a look at the cards. Now, we've just kind of started on this, so there's not a ton. But definitely some to take a look at. All right, first up, we've got Topps Chrome Pink Ozzie Albies. Let's see. We've got basically every year but 2021 there. So 19, 20, 22, and 23 of the pink Aussies. And then I had a buddy at work who was buying into some 24 Topps Heritage breaks, and he gave me this Ozzie Albies, which is pink as well. So those are all the Aussies we've gotten so far. And these are some of the other pink cards that we've been able to pick up. So we've got the 24 Topps Heritage Acuna. This one here has got Chipper Jones on the side of it, 1999 Most Valuable Players. We've got the Bryce Elder with the pink and yellow. Then we've got pink Topps Chrome Max Fried, a pink Matt Olson, and then a pink Kyle Wright rookie card. So that's really it. These are duplicates that we've got. And then I put a purple one in here too. This is 2021 Jock Peterson purple parallel. So I've got that in there. And then just some more Ozzy Albies cards. I actually have more Albies cards than this. I just haven't filled out the binder. Put that together. But that's what we're working on so far. So pretty cool. Wanted to show those off with it being Mother's Day. And then a few more. This is, try to get the glare off there. This is the high-tech Kyle Wright auto. This is numbered out of 75. And you can see it's the pink version of that. I was a big Kyle Wright guy. I really thought that he was going to be a big part of the Braves. And he was. You know, he won over 20 games in 2022. But just didn't work out from there. Unfortunately, I hate it for the guy. But I bought into Kyle Wright a little bit. And so anyways, the Topps Inception, they call this magenta, but it's pink. Kyle Wright rookie auto out of 99. Then we've got the 2019 Topps Chrome Austin Riley pink refractor, Gem Mint 10 on that. And I also have an Acuna rookie. I just didn't have access to it tonight to make this video. I've not picked up the Ozzy Albies pink rookie card yet. Need to do that. But that's more than $1 card, which was what all these other pink ones were that I picked up real quick. So eventually we'll get that for her and get it into the book as well. So those are my pink cards and my story of how my grandmother played an important role in me collecting cards. And I appreciate you sticking around to check all of this out. If you have a really cool story of a mother figure in your life that played a role in your cards, or if you have some cool pink cards, let me know about it in the comments down below. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope everyone everywhere had a happy Mother's Day. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.